You're saying the Earth's flat?
I'm not saying the Earth's flat.
You just said the Earth's flat.
I said I'm entertaining the idea that the Earth is flat. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain an idea without accepting it. Aristotle.
Aristotle lived in a geocentric universe.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I've gotten ahead of myself. I jumped in at level 7. Never start a conversation at level 7. That's the kind of shit that gets you locked up. With conspiracy theory, there are different levels.
Okay, walk me through it.
Alright, level 1. It's like you realize everything that you hear in the news and the mainstream media may not actually be true.
Okay, I think most people know that.
Actually, most people don't. Despite continued breaches of trust, people still tend to think the news is the news.
So you're saying the news isn't true?
Sometimes, yes. You know, like both the JFK assassination, Building 7 collapse on 9/11 were recorded before they actually happened. But that's not the point. That's level 3 stuff. What I'm saying here is that news is a product of directing focus.
Like on a camera?
We live in a world of autofocus. That is, we don't do it for ourselves. The first level of conspiracy theory is to realize that one needs to control their own focus, not have it focus for them.
So news is a diversion?
At level 1, yes. At level 3, it can be informative. But basically, if I hear about, say, a burglary, I feel scared. I hear about a lotto winner, I feel happy. You show me sports highlights and I feel athletic. None of these things translate into my reality. That's autofocus.
Alright, I get it. So what's level 2?
Level 2 is like you realize that not just the news and mainstream media, but actually all magazines, advertisements, infomercials, billboards, basically anything manufactured on a large scale is designed to make you feel inadequate. This level is still fairly basic. It's appeared in dozens of films. A ways back, a good flick called They Live, and recently maybe say like a Fight Club.
Yeah, but I get that. I mean, I don't wear Axe body spray, and I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
Level 1, you realize there's a lot of misdirection. Level 2, you realize that there's a lot of manipulation. Level 3 is when you begin to look into the sources of level 1 and 2. That is, you figure out who controls the monopolies, you know, your Koch brothers, private campaign donors, bribed politicians, your advertising companies, and the unconscious desires they exploit to make you feel inferior.
What does that do?
Well, at this point, you begin to be able to point the finger, and a lot of people get caught up and never even pass level 3. They just get pissed off. They love to blog, they type in all caps, their friends stop inviting them around anymore because they won't stop talking about the lizard people, genetic manipulation, shapeshifters, secret cabals, and their demonic sacrifices. Their gods are your Alex Jones and your David Icke's, pundits that look to channel others' anger and attract more level 3 recruits who identify with this line of reasoning. If you've met a level 3er, they probably got pissed if you disagreed with them and said something to the tune of, "You just don't understand."
Sounds like you were 16.
Yeah, touche. I was storming around the house screaming at my brother that television was mind control and commercials were making people insane. Meanwhile, my family was wondering the same thing about me. But I progressed.
To level 4?
Yes, to level 4. Now, full disclosure, I'm kind of wheeling it from here. I know where it goes generally, but at this stage, it does get a little harder to count.
Humor me, Noob.
Level 4 is when you realize who you can point the finger at, but also understand that submersing yourself in the field of their work only changes you, not them. You understand the meaning of the phrase, you play with fire, you get burned. You work in the dirt, you get dirty. You play with dark forces, and a little bit of darkness gets in you. So from this realization, you once again begin to work on your focus. You apply a level 1 strategy at a higher stage. You saw some bullshit, you called it bullshit. You found the bullshitters. Now you aren't interested in bullshitters. Now you're looking for soothsayers.
Soothsayers.
Truth speakers. In our olden days, they were called prophets. Now they're anywhere. They're everywhere. They're Tom, Dick, or Harry. They're the guy at the newsstand. They're your barber. They're on the bus. They're your secretary. They know things, and they share what they know. If you show, you are ready to hear it. Hindus call them Upa gurus.
Anyone famous?
Yeah, sure, but most of them don't slap the pulpit because they'd get marked, pinned, and slandered, or attacked in some way. Often these people are not in positions of power, though some are. Others teach in tiny groups or blog. But this is why I said level 4 is different. You begin what Campbell called the hero's journey. You look for the people, the places, the experiences you need to find in order to find out what you need to know. In short, you take the first step out of the cave.
The cave.
Plato's allegory of the cave. Oh, Jesus. YouTube it. Orson Welles does a great narration. Suffice it to say, you are on your way. You're no longer caught up in cock-a-doodle-doo. You are now looking for real stuff.
What are you saying? Those bad people aren't actually bad?
Not at all. But karma is its own curse and blessing. We need to free ourselves first. That's priority uno, pun intended.
Alright, so what's level 5?
Alright, level 5 is where things get really kick into gear. So you're with it, you generally keep a positive disposition, you know what you want and you're headed towards it. You might even realize you already have it. You tap in with Abraham Hicks or Eckhart Tolle or some Indian guru or some shit and you hear the right words and a switch flips. Maybe you start reading the Bible again or return to the roots of your original religion. Whatever the case, you realize, though it's not 100% because you're still updating your software, that you have some small amount of influence in the trajectory of your life, and you begin to wield it. Others would say you give in, let go, let God, etc., wu wei, let the river flow. Whatever. Either way you put it, you're in it, it's happening, and you feel like it's happening.
Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Phil.
Yeah, they're like the elementary school teachers of this path.
So where does it go from there?
Well, then it gets trippy. Level 6, in the wake of your level 5 education, comes with it an onslaught of synchronicities, coincidences, dreams, improbable results, what were once called miracles. You experience deja vu, sleep far too little or far too much. You make and lose friends quickly. You may suddenly feel empty like the cavern of the universe. You may also feel full like a pot bubbling over. You experience what in the DSM-4 would probably be considered mild forms of psychosis, bipolar disorder, savantism, and even schizophrenia.
You're saying we go crazy?
No. Not at all. I'm saying some of the things that happen with those people, whom don't have mechanisms to filter and cope and control their experiences of reality, also show up in this process. You begin to dive into numbers. You see dates, ages, names, signs, colors, languages, pathways. Everything begins to become, in a sense, fitted, like an utterly American baseball cap.
I'm afraid to ask of level 7.
Well, that's funny, because you would be if you were not there. Level 7 is the loss of fear. One rises into a state of total surrender or control, depending on the side of the bed you woke up that morning. You see the pattern, you can also tell. You see the pattern, you can also tell the forest from the trees, and name the trees in the forest. You are unfettered. You are an inspiration. You are a joy and a treat to be around. You are a light unto the world. This is stuff that prophecy is made of. You can, at level 7, spell out the symptoms and causes of dis-ease. You see through the pharmaceutical companies, the destroyers of the rainforests, the imprisoners of the human mind, the military-industrial complex, the inculcations of mass religions, and you see all of them. But this time around, you don't want to wave and point the finger. You are on a higher curve of the ascending spiral, so you begin to look for solutions that make those problems obsolete. And this is where you become very dangerous. So when I say the Earth may be flat, that is just one of the many wildly insane conspiracy theories that must be entertained at level 7.
So Copernicus, Kepler, Newton, you're saying these guys are all wrong?
I'm saying I'm considering they were wrong. You know they were all 33rd degree Masons, and it's well documented that those clubs have gone to great lengths to pull the wool over our eyes.
Okay, wait. Slow down here. So how is the Earth flat?
Okay, well it could be a disinformation campaign, or it could be true. Suspicious things like flight paths, architects not accounting for the curvature of the Earth, like in the building of the Suez Canal, and the fact that there are only certain routes to the South Pole. But I'm not trying to convince you of that. This is a level 3 disorder. What's important to understand is that along the ascension of this ladder, many whoppers occur, including but not limited to time not existing, gravity not being real, UFO encounters, and all the superpowers you can dream of being attainable. At level 8, the infinite world of potential is at our fingertips. Indeed, it is our fingertips.
Look, I hear you, but the idea that the Earth is flat, I mean, come on.
I know, it's crazy.
All right, let's bookmark that. You said there are 9 levels of conspiracy? What are the last 2?
The 8th level is that you are everything and everything is you. And this is not Buddhist mumbo-jumbo or some New Age mantra. This is felt deep in the gut of your soul. It is known. From here, you speak words. And from here, you speak words to living people. And this is what Jesus meant when he said, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move mountains. You orate, and ontology descends into catalysts. The world quickens to fill your visions, and you know that all the pain in this world is because of how we all are, and in some sense, how you are. And you feel responsible for it inside, and you identify with that responsibility. And you sympathize for yourself inside. And from this sympathy toward the pain, you can begin to experience unbridled compassion, to love your neighbor. Hatred disintegrates on all fronts.
No haters.
Well, if you know anything about schoolyard bullies, when you are not bothered by someone, they stop hurting you. And this is what happens. This is how it ends. My brother always picked on me because I got so riled up. If I didn't get so riled up, he'd get no enjoyment in picking on me and stop. The same applies to the evolution of humanity. At the 8th level, the world is as it appears to Neo in the Matrix, pardon my pop culture. But it is all ones and zeros. You're not pissed. It's all balanced because you realize it is a program. And you realize it is divine in its construction. And you want nothing else other than to be a deliberate reflection of this driving telos, that is to say, its purpose.
So what is the purpose?
The 9th level of illumination is only reached when we have all arrived there. And the earth rises into a mode of being that it has always been in, but which we were sent away from, and will once again return to. We literally become, we arrive in a new world, and it already is here.
Woke.
That's that New Jerusalem shit, Crystal City, after the 7th trumpet is sounded.
Jordan fades back.
You get a text message at that point.